guys, it's Cassandra, and I am a relationship coach, and I inspire men to create incredible memories with their loved ones. I'm chilling here with my buddy Chad Scott.
How you doing? Chad Scott, also a relationship coach, life coach, and very big on accountability and being about accountability partner.
Yes. And we're going to talk about why we decided to become a coach, or a relationship coach. He's a relationship and life coach. So why do you feel you got into this game?
It's funny because I feel like I've always been in this world in a sense of helping people, motivating people, giving people to live their best life, whatever that life is. So even as a young kid, I always was very big on making sure everybody's good and making sure that I check in with people, make sure their mental health before it's popular was in a good space. And from there, it kind of progresses to me even now navigating it, but also understood that not everybody gonna like you. So I had to get caught up even in that, coaching myself to understand that, and from there it was able for me to understand about helping people when it comes to coaching, relationship, life, that it progresses from me learning that lesson, and then when I got into college, that's when I started homing in that skill, even though I'm still in the entertainment business and I'm getting into the coaching world more, that I was helping people get a ring. So when I got the first girl to get a ring, to take my advice, I just like, friendly advice.
Right.
It was a fluke.
Right.
So then what happened was, then it started progressing, and once I got to the 10th ring, that's when everybody was like, Chad, you gotta do something. You gotta do workshop.
I want a ring too. You gonna help me get a ring?
Yes, I got you. I got you. That's I can't wait for that one. So my job was to make sure about homing up skills, and then once the pandemic happened, I was like, you know what? Let me add more tools in my toolbox.
So pause for a second. What do you think it is that you're doing that's getting you to get these ladies the ring?
I think honesty. I think I'm very transparent, honesty, and bigger than that, I make them see their own truth.
Okay.
And I think that what happens to a lot of people is you get caught up in the fantasy, and you fall in love with potential.
Right.
And I'm very big on potential have an expiration date, and also be honest with what you're looking for.
Right.
So even in my workshop I does called How to Stop Negotiating with Terrorists, about toxic relationships, I focus on what are your deal breakers, what is your red flags, what is those things, but then why are you dating the guys that you're currently dating?
Right.
Are they adding to that list?
So the ladies that you're working with, is it that they're letting go of the guys that's just potential? So in other words, if they were in the same relationship, same dude, would they have gotten the ring, or would they have gotten in the way of getting the ring? And if they would have gotten in the way of getting the ring with the same relationship, right? Then what is it that you find that women tend to do in these relationships that prolongs them from getting the ring?
I think what happens is not being honest, not having an uncomfortable conversation.
Okay.
And I think a lot of times women get focused on history.
Okay.
I've been with this guy for 2 years. I've been with this guy for 3 years. We've been through a lot, Chad. I'm like, all right, but where's the progression at?
Right.
Just because you have history with someone, where is y'all going? And also, how you communicating that thing? Because a lot of times, a woman say they want to get married, and the guy they're dating said he don't want to.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, if they're in this relationship, so the guy obviously, so is it that the women are doing something different while working with you that causes the guy to be like, yo, I want to put a ring on it? Or is it that these girls are proposing?
No.
Right, you understand? I'm trying to get to the distinction of what's being done differently. Because they're obviously not dating this guy with potential. They're obviously they're dating these quality guys.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So what's different?
I think it depends on it. Everybody's different. So I think the core issue is confidence, self-esteem, and making sure that's right.
Right.
I think that some people get caught up in validation from other people.
Yes. Definitely.
So the more you love yourself, the more, I say fuckery, you will entertain.
The less fuckery.
Less fuckery. So what happens is, in those kind of mindset is now I'm shifting from, you want this man, but is this man right for you?
Right.
And if the man is right for you, then there's a conversation that need to happen. Because if the goal for him is not marriage,
then you need to let it go.
But you see sitting there because you feel like, maybe I could prove myself, or pick me. And hopefully he picks me because I showed my where being a great girlfriend, I could be a possible wife. Well, he's not that time. So then that's why some women get mad when it comes to being a being the kind of transition girlfriend.
Got you.
And they get upset about that. But what got you into the whole
What got me into it?
Coaching world?
So honestly, I think if I had to really think about it, so when I was in my relationship, I didn't have anybody to talk to.
Okay.
When me and my ex, when I was in high school, I think that was like one of the hardest times, the peak of experiencing what a relationship in a bad space can do to you.
Okay.
Emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. Like, it really put a damper on me. And I didn't feel like I had any of the adults around me I could trust and talk to them. And so I ended up going to school for to become a lawyer, to become an attorney. But instead, I started to learn I took a Psych 101 class, and I was like, this is interesting. And it became just kind of like a rabbit hole. So I went from forensic psych to social work, and I could never find my way.
All right.
None of it ever meant anything to me because it wasn't in relation to why I got into it in the first place, but I didn't understand what was going on.
Got it.
So once I had my marriage, and it was just constant breakdown after breakdown after breakdown, it was a really unhappy situation. I wasn't living in my truth. And I didn't know what my truth was to even live in it.
Got it.
So the best thing that ever happened to me was the divorce.
Got it.
That was it, because then in that I got to live my most authentic self and becoming that. And so the reason why I decided to become a relationship coach is because most of my friends would talk to me like, they would call me the oracle.
Got it.
Because I would hear their conversations, and I'd be like, okay, if you do this, this is what he's gonna say. Mm-hmm. If you do that, this is what's gonna happen. If you go to his house right now today, he not gonna want to talk to you afterwards.
Got it.
And so they would be just floored by like the way I could predict certain things that would happen. But it's like, you got to check the vibe. Like, one of the things that people don't do, I don't think I'm special at it. I think a lot of people don't listen to their intuition. They don't listen to their gut feeling. And that's something that I've learned to really listen to, because I've noticed what happens when I don't. So now I use my skills, I use the pain from my past to listen to what people are going through, to like hear their heart and like help them execute and make their decisions from their highest self.
And how, when it comes to that conversation and being able to now take it all in, how do you feel like it's impactful for you as a coach to feel like this is a great space to be in, to be able to be that person for those
So what's your question?
The clients is like, how you feel about it. Like, how you feel about you able to use your personal trauma or your situation to now turn into a positive to help other people.
I feel like I'm living my truth.
All right.
I feel like I'm finally here.
Got it.
I feel like before I felt like I was living another life. I was living for my mom. I was living for my dad. I was living for what people said I could be. I was living for my husband. I was living for like what I thought how a woman should present herself. I was living ideas.
Got it.
But I wasn't living my life. So now I am, and now I'm very happy.
Good.
I'm very happy now.
Yeah, so I think that it's very important with anybody where you take stuff that you're naturally good at and find a way to support and love that passion.
Yeah.
And also monetize it in a sense.
Yes.
But be able to now...
Let me ask you a question.
That's what works. Go ahead.
Speaking of which,
right.
Did you ever feel guilt or feel disconnected from the monetizing part of it because you do what you do so well, so naturally that you didn't really see a point in charging people at first?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So what happened with this? I'm still doing entertainment stuff.
Right.
So I'm still the entertainment managing talent.
Right.
So when it started helping people with relationships, I was just doing it just to have the conversation.
Correct.
And I always have a lot of women friends, so those conversations used to come up when it just automatic.
Yeah.
So then once I got the 10th ring, and people were like, yo, Chad, you got to do a workshop. I'm like, ah. But what happened was an organization called Playtime Worldwide told me, listen, you need a workshop. We're a sponsor of the workshop.
Right.
So that much faith they had in me to do the workshop. So now I got to create a workshop.
Yeah.
So me creating a workshop is basically, I had to put a price tag on this, not for Chad to get rich, but I had to show accountability to show up.
Right.
Because something free, somebody may not show up for it.
Right.
So I'm going to charge a little fee, see what happens.
Yeah.
Then when it's sold out, I say, oh, all right. That was not part of the plan.
Right.
It was supposed to be. So then from there, I'm like, all right, now let me just, for me, it was like, let me add more tools to the toolbox. Because I had natural skills. But now let me find a way to fine tune it so I make sure everybody have more bang for their buck and feel satisfied.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I didn't want to feel like it's a money grab.
Right.
Still to this day. So I'm very big on having a conversation, but I'm like, all right, now it's more about my time and energy. I have to now try to find a way to navigate it, but why also adding more tools in the toolbox.
Yes.
So yeah, so what about you in that struggle?
Definitely, of course. It didn't make sense to me. The people around, this is why it's so important to check who your top 5 are. Because I've been around people who are bountiful with talent.
Got it.
And doing nothing. And it's because the people that they keep around them are doing nothing. So when they see with their talents, they can't even suggest to them, yo, you should monetize or you should be doing XYZ. They're just like, oh, from whatever you've accumulated thus far, let me get some of that.
Yeah.
I have people around me, like you, that God blesses me with, that's like, yo, you, like, go. What's in the way? And I'm like, this and this and this and this. And I get people around me that's like, okay, well, let's take this excuse. I got excuse removers. I don't have leeches around me. Thank you, Lord. Like, that's God right there. But it's really important to have that. Because even if you bypass the beliefs that you have in yourself, people see what's golden in you and they recognize the value in it.
Yeah, I got you. So like I said, so that's why even for us, I feel like it's one of the things where this is something we love, but the fact that we have these conversations freely,
yes,
now it's like, all right, you're paying for the time and energy to really fine tune and focus on that person, that couple, or whoever you're dealing with. Now that the monetary thing is now, as far as you're taking away from time, so you should be compensated for it. But also, it's one of the things where now there's both people in part. They pay you for this, so you gotta give it a different kind of lens, a different kind of energy, and now they paying for something. So now it's more ears and taking notes because they paying for this.
Definitely. And one thing I want to add before we close out is, and I feel like I skated around this, but being like an Afro-Caribbean woman, you know, being a black woman, being Haitian American, and my heart is really for black couples. I don't mind, you know, working with any couple, but my heart is for black couples because I feel like the black family has been under severe attack. And for me, you know, if a relationship can make sense, let's help it to make sense. Because sometimes what it is people don't have the tools or the stamina, or they think it's going to be a sprint, and you got to really prepare them for the marathon that marriage is. So I think what happens is people, like, they just give so much in the beginning, they get their feelings hurt, and then they start to withdraw. Well, I was given all of this, so you know what, I'm going to save some of this for myself. So they have these barriers and these boundaries and these walls up in a relationship that they say that they want.
Yes.
But they're not giving their all. So now you're being stingy with your love, you're being stingy with your time, you're being stingy with your vulnerability, and it's causing the relationship to break down. And I think, you know, if we can help people to get around that, we can keep more black families together, we can have more black businesses running, and we can just build our community and have happy homes. Like, I want to see children in a house with their mom and their dad in it, you know what I'm saying? And bliss and joy and vacations and making that money and building a future in that whole empire.
Legacy. Yes. But yes, like you said, it have to make sense. Exactly. The longer you're willing to work together, that's why I said no matter how dope you are, when it comes to, you may need coaching. You like, black love is very important because it's one of the things where we don't really go outside of that. Usually just give it to God or power through it. And we like, nah, we're going to need more tools to make this work. And now that it became more desensitized when it comes to, or stigma, so to speak, when it comes to going to therapy or mental health or going to a coach, it's because now you realize, like, I don't want to tell my friends or family, I need somebody with some kind of professional who could focus on me without the judgment, but see how we work, and not just one picking sides. Or sometimes you tell your family your business, they get resentment to it. They're like, I hate him now. No, we good now. So it's good to have a third party to try to navigate it.
Yes.
But what's your last thoughts when it comes to us deciding to be coaches?
Well, I mean, I feel like we said everything, but, you know, like, we're here for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like you need some coaching, you can hit one of us up. If you want a ring, hit up Chad. And if you're wanting to learn about just managing just your energy, so I'm a big believer on masculine and feminine energy and how that plays into a relationship. That's where I fell in love. Yes. But if you want to know more, you can hit up our IG. It'll be down in the box below, and learn more about us and book us.
Thanks.
Thank y'all. Like, share, and subscribe, please.